Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we have part 2 of my WCW collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm taking a look at part 2 of my WCW collection, and admittedly this is not going to be all of my WCW figures. It's going to be just the Monday Night Wars era. I will go through the older stuff, the territory days, WCW, NWA, that kind of stuff. That'll be a separate one. I want to just kind of go through the Attitude Era. So today's starting out with the Steiner Brothers here. So obviously we have the Elite, is it 103? Rick Steiner figure, which I think is an awesome figure. I'd kind of made my own custom of it, and I didn't love it, part choice wise. I thought it was just okay. And then we got this one. As soon as we got this render, I was pretty excited for it. The jacket obviously is molded, but it has the dogs on the shoulders. I think it's fantastic. The boots are probably my favorite piece of it. The boots have so much detail with the flames and everything. I was pleasantly surprised by this figure. It's got the removable bandana and sunglasses. And I didn't want to take off the jacket here, so I'll do that and get back to him. But then I have a custom Ultimate Edition Scott Steiner, and it's not all the way finished. I started to remove the chest hair, and it would not come off. I used Goof Off, I used some clear nail polish, and it was just one of those instances where it was just gonna take a lot of work, and as opposed to just going to town on the torso and possibly ruining it, I just left the chest hair on. So I know it's not completely accurate, but it's not the end of the world for me. I assume we're gonna get a Scott Steiner Ultimate of some sort. We obviously haven't really seen much for either Steiner Brothers since we got the Ruthless Aggression one for Scott and then this one for Rick, but Steve says they're on the way, so hopefully we get more of those. We get some Ultimates, some throwbacks to their tag team days, but starting off today, there's just my Scott and Rick. Alright, next up we have some NWO Wolfpack members here. We've got the ringside exclusive Sting in the red, obviously, and then we've got the Legends Lex Luger figure. This one was the original run. They did a, what is it called? A running change? Yeah, a running change, and gave him bigger arms, so he had the Hulk Hogan size arms. I did not like that. I thought they were too big. They just look weird on the body. This one is the NWO version of Lex Luger. I do really like the head sculpt, and then in the Legends line there was also the older version of WCW Lex Luger, which was in the orange attire, and that was one of the few chase figures I've never seen. I was pretty disappointed. I wanted it it's a completely different iteration of Lex Luger, and I had every intention of getting it, and I just missed out. So technically that's still on my list to grab. I'm pretty sure it's cheap on the secondary market if I just feel like picking that up one day, but I do like this Lex. I don't think this Wolfpack shirt came with him. I just threw it on him. I don't think of Lex Luger when I think NWO, but that's where I pose him on the shelf. So I had that extra NWO shirt, threw it on him. The Sting, however, is one of my favorite WC or just NWO figures we've gotten. I honestly didn't like Wolfpack Sting. It didn't feel right to me seeing him in anything besides his black and white. And even though my favorite color is red, I was just not a fan. I like this figure a lot. I think this was the first time they gave us this long-haired head sculpt. I think this would be a top of the list candidate for the From the Vault series if Sting ever did sign back with WWE in a Legends fashion, but it's an awesome figure. The torso I think could be a little bit bigger. I think they used a like the 1-2-3 Kid or Santino size torso, which I think is way too small for Sting. I don't know why they went that route, but for the most part, I think it's a stellar figure. And if you ever get a chance to pick it up for a decent price, it's absolutely worth it. Next up, we've got a couple Ultimate Edition customs of mine. We've got Buff Bagwell in his NWO attire, as well as my Ultimate Edition, or one of my Ultimate Edition Booker T figures. In the last part of the WCW showcase, I think I had my white attire Booker, and this is the attire he had when he was like near the end of WCW, when he was world champion, and then going into WWE during the invasion. So I could just pop on his like Ruthless Aggression head, and this would work perfectly. I think for him, it was just his Booker T Elite legs with the Ultimate T torso, Mr. T torso. And again, this is one that I just don't understand. If I was at Mattel, I would be just pumping out Booker T figures as fast as I could. Obviously, we can't do that with Buff Bagwell here, so I understand not having that, but Booker T just seems like someone I would get out as many of his figures as I can. They feel like they all kind of go up on the secondary market, and I don't know, Mattel, I think we're getting him in the Greatest Hits series, I guess. They're re-releasing his white King Booker attire, so that's really cool. But nonetheless, there's another WCW Booker, as well as my Ultimate Edition Buff Bagwell. Here we've got a couple more NWO members. So we have the Walmart, I think it was Walmart exclusive 6 figure, which I don't think we've gotten another release of him. I could be wrong. But we've got the 6, which is obviously X-Pac during his time in WCW. And then we've got the ringside exclusive Macho Man, which I do have one of his Ultimate Edition heads on. And then I added the wrist cuffs from a couple Kane figures onto his wrist. So we have that like larger glove look that he had, and then the knee braces added as well. And I think it was a Toy Biz figure that was like this, that I based this off of, but this is like exactly what I think of a WCW Macho Man. So I love this figure. Another one that was on ringside, they had a run of a bunch of NWO figures as ringside exclusives, and I remember like before Hogan got canceled originally, both literally and figuratively, Bill said it was going to be like the year of NWO, and then we were supposed to get the Hogan. We ended up getting the ringside exclusive Nash, the ringside exclusive Scott Hall, the Sting, Macho Man. I don't know if there's other ones, but we've slowly gotten more added. We're gonna get a bunch more in the Monday Night Wars line, so that's really cool. They could make NWO guys for days. It just kind of depends on how deep into the roster they want to get. But we've gotten for the most part, we've gotten the important ones. But Macho Man 2, I'd really like him to, well, not him personally, his estate, to figure out the Legends situation so that we can get figures back of him, because we get a lot, but I love all the Macho Man figures. I think this one specifically is really nice. But yeah, anyway, this is, like I said, just with the Sting one, if you can get this Macho Man, it normally comes with a rubber shirt. I put a cloth one on him, but still, it's a really nice figure. I assume it's a lot on the secondary market because it's NWO, it's ringside exclusive, and it's Macho Man. But this, as well as Sting, if you can grab those, grab them, and hopefully we just get another re-release of the 6 with some updates. Next up, we have a couple of my personal favorites as a kid. We've got my Conan and Rey Mysterio from their time in the Filthy Animals stable. So I've got the blue camo pants, obviously, on the maskless Rey Mysterio, and it is a head sculpt that I would like to go back and just paint up a little bit better. I don't know if I even sealed it with my sealing spray. It's very glossy, so I want to go back. I want to paint that up a little bit. And then so one of the reasons I didn't was because we were supposed to be getting the maskless Rey in the Monday Night Wars line. Obviously, that fell through. I was shocked that we were gonna get one, and I wonder if Rey Mysterio was like don't make maskless figures of me right now. So I don't know. Hopefully we get that down the line because it was really, really cool. But this definitely works for me as a stand-in. The head sculpt is from House 14, but I don't even know if it's one that he regularly has on his website. I think Hederation has a maskless Rey. I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure that he has a few different versions of him. So I will probably come back and just in its entirety make another Rey like this. But the Conan here, kind of just got the idea because I was watching in one of the old WCW pay-per-views, and he was wearing like instead of his more traditional like black cargo pants, NWO shirt, like all that, he was wearing some khaki pants, the white shoes, the white beater shirt, and I figured I could make that pretty easily. I got the head sculpt off a guy on eBay, and the rest is history. We've got him right here. I do need to put tattoos on him. I have them, I just never got around to it, and I think I'm going to end up putting some smaller arms on him just so that he articulates a little bit better. But yeah, there's one of my Conan figures, working on another one, WCW one, or an NWO one, but I also want to make the other members of the Filthy Animals. I want to do a bunch of the like the 2000s WCW guys. Kwee is one of my what's the word? My guilty pleasure favorite wrestlers. Just looked absolutely ridiculous, but him and I think Jason Jett, I think that's what they were calling him, put on a banger of a match at WCW Greed 2000. I'm pretty sure. So if you want to, if you don't know who I'm talking about, go check out Kwee. But that's besides the point. I don't even think he's not even a Filthy Animal. Moving on. There's Rey. There's Conan. Next up, we have Shan, OHare, and Chuck Palumbo from the Natural Born Thrillers. And these guys, in WCW, I kind of watched them. They were kind of prominent for a bit at the end of WCW, but then like most of my viewing of them was once they had moved over during the invasion. And Palumbo both of these guys were around for a decent amount of time, never really did anything, but I thought they were cool characters. Chuck Palumbo, I always knew more for the Chuck and Billy tag team he was in. The boots for him obviously have G's on the side. Apparently we just didn't acetone those off on Work in Progress Wednesday, but both of these head sculpts are from now I forgot. Shan OHare, I think, is from House 14, and then Hederation is the head sculpt on Chuck Palumbo, which I both think they're good. House 14 has said, I've seen him multiple times in like comment sections and stuff, talking about how he hates his Shan OHare sculpt that he did for this one, but I think it definitely works for this time period. I've seen a few people do the like long-haired ones. As far as the part choices go, I think the Chuck Palumbo, I use like Razor Ramon legs with some Billy Gunn lowers. The torso is from the like 3-pack Sting, or like the Elite Sting figures. And then Shan OHare, I can't remember. I gave him the like Vince McMahon ripped up torso, and I don't remember like legs wise. I know I did Work in Progress Wednesday, so it's probably on there. I do need to fix, obviously, his like the blue on his tights didn't line up. I don't know what I was doing that day. I think I was just not as experienced with decals. I kind of messed it up on the leg there. So I will probably go back and like redo him as well, like I was talking about with the Rey. Just redo it, touch up the head sculpt, make it look a little better. But like I say with a lot of people, these are spots that I wanted to fill on the shelf. They were prominent enough for me to feel like they needed to be in the collection. So there's Shan OHare and Chuck Palumbo. All right, and to wrap up today's episode of the showcase, we have none other than the founding members of the NWO in I don't even know necessarily if this is a Wolfpack Nash, but it's a Wolfpack look for both Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan. And the attires, the allegiance for like who belonged where in the NWO at the end of WCW is really weird. There was like the NWO Elite, there was the NWO Wolfpack, there's obviously like the spin-offs for the LWO. It was very convoluted. It was kind of ridiculous, but nonetheless, we've got our Wolfpack Scott Hall here, and I like this one because he's got the red base for his tights instead of the normal black with like the red blood kind of paint. So it is a little bit different. It was the Legends figure, but then I took the head sculpt from the WrestleMania Elite that we got, just because I like that one a little better for this instance. And then I think I just like swapped the heads. The Wolfpack Hogan right here is another one of those ringside NWO figures we got. I did swap the torso because they had the Sheamus torso on, and I hated that. I ended up just putting one of his Ultimate Edition torsos on there, which I might end up going and getting a bunch of the new Wolfpack, or not Wolfpack, NWO Hogans that has the updated tan, just so that I can change things up a little bit. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe if there's some on ringside for like a decent price during all the holiday sales. But nonetheless, I really like that NWO Wolfpack Hogan. And then the Nash is just the Legends figure as well. And I don't think I changed anything up on that one. I think I did like kind of glue the headband in there so it wouldn't fall off. It's a different sculpt. I like that we got a bandana sculpt for Nash. I think it looks really cool. And the pants, like they've got like the silver marks down the side, so that made it stand out. Is a little bit different. There's a lot more they could do really with Nash than they've kind of been able to do with Scott Hall. Scott Hall didn't get too crazy with his attires, and Nash, you know, he had some where he like paired a red top with black. So I don't know, maybe we'll get some more. I'm game for him. I know not everybody loves NWO as much as you know, the people that grew up with it, but nonetheless, I think just anything NWO we get, I'm happy. I'm excited for. We've got a lot coming in the Monday Night Wars line, and I have like current work in progress Wednesdays going with more WCW guys, so there's always going to be more added to the collection. Sometimes you'll see it on work in progress Wednesday first, sometimes it might make the showcase first, and it just kind of depends on you know, how it works out. But if there's other stuff you want to see as far as showcase goes, let me know. I've got some things planned. I do have the Nexus. I have completed that group, so I'm going to show that off before too long here. Going to get through my ECW portion of the Monday Night Wars Attitude Era collection coming up next, probably the next couple weeks, I'd think. But then after that, you know, it's kind of open. I just kind of need to figure out what I want to do, what you guys might like. So if you have some more suggestions, let me know. A while back, someone threw a bunch in the comments, and I've taken that to heart for some future episodes. But if you want to go check out some more, we have plenty on the channel. We've got the whole Attitude Era we've been going through that we started with WWE. We've got, like I said, WCW, ECW. We've got all kinds of showcases on the channel. Outside of that, if you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude, out.